What is up, everyone? It is Pilar, and today I wanted to talk to you about navigating Merveil's Cavern using a method I like to call the river method. This method works in both the Cavern of Wrath, which is the first level of Merveil's Caverns with the waypoint, and the second level, Cavern of Anger, which leads to Merveil. So this method is based on taking advantage of this little river that actually runs through the map all the way to the exit at Merveil's, to the Cavern of Anger on the first level and the Cavern of Wrath, and then a little lead to Merveil and the Cavern of Anger on the second level. So when I'm talking about this method, I think it's important to understand a little bit about why this method exists / how I found it. So Karv has a very excellent guide on all the Act 1 layouts at his website, poehub.gg, and that's primarily how I learned to read most of the Act 1 layouts. For Cavern of Wrath, there are 4 layouts. For Cavern of Anger, there are 3 layouts according to Karv's method. Karv's method is excellent at helping you identify which one of those layouts it is, and from that identification, you get the general sense of where the exit location is and how you ideally should navigate to it. However, one of the issues that I ran into with Karv's method is that even knowing, generally speaking, where the exit location was, I would still sometimes choose the wrong tunnel to go down and end up with a lot of backtracking. So I decided to see if there's something else that I could find that would help me navigate sort of the internals of the map a little better. So with this method, it's important to understand that it's not a 100% foolproof method where it's going to get you directly there every single time. In Merveil's Caverns, there is going to be some sort of backtracking. It's just how the nature of the layout is. However, with this method, there are sort of 2 ways that you can use it as I see it. One, I think the best way is to combine it with Karv's method to help you you use Karv's method to get the general exit location as you sort of start, and you can use this method as a supplement to help make sure that you're choosing the right tunnel to go down when you're navigating sort of the internals of the map. And 2, if you're not really interested in learning a particular layout reading method and you just want something that's easy to somewhat follow, you can do this method, the river method. So with the river method, the last thing I'll say before we actually run, and I'll show you what exactly the river method is that sometimes the river or the shoreline of the river is going to be blocked by terrain. And what you're trying to do in that case is you're going to have to sort of project where the river shoreline should be, and you're going to try and diverge and divert yourself from the path such that you'll get back to where you picture the shoreline to be. And this, generally speaking, will work pretty well. But like I said, with these layouts, there's always some risk of backtracking. But let's show you the river method in action. So I am going to pop, just reset the zone. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start following the river as it bends around. I can see that the river is going to contort over here like this, so I am going to follow it that way. But it actually does not. It actually goes up, so I'm going to follow it up and around now. And I'm going to keep sort of hugging the internals here. As I open my map, you see that I'm blocked, but I'm just going to divert and go up such that I'm following the shoreline still. And I am literally just following this shoreline around as best I can, and it will take me to the exit. So I get blocked here. I'm going to try and divert up and around again. I'm back on track, and so I can see the exit already. What's going to happen with the shoreline here is it's actually going to make a little S shape and curve back around, but because I see the exit up here already, I'm just going to head up that way. And you can see that the shoreline connects. And just to show you what I mean by the S shape is that as we go up, you can see that it does curl around like that. So there can be a little bit of backtracking, but generally speaking, it will take you to the right direction. So we did that with the Cavern of Wrath. Let's do that with the Cavern of Anger now. So same thing, I'll go find the shoreline and I will just follow it up. I see that the shoreline's taking me up here. And I am being blocked, so I'm just going to flame dash over and keep following it up. I'm blocked again. Sucks. Keep following it up as best I can and around. Anytime I get blocked, I'll flame dash around it. And this is going to take me to the exit. Now that it's curving to the right, the exit should be right over here. And it is. Perfect. So that's just a small example of how these two methods work as you actually navigate them. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that this method is a lot easier to do if you have sort of like your terrain on your map, because you can actually see, let me get out of where all these mobs are, you can actually see on the map sort of where the river is based on sort of this dark green textured rock that I'm looking at right here versus sort of like the more grayish. So as you follow it, you can see this is the river as it goes up, and if I pull my map down, you can see that it'll take me right there. This can be even more apparent when I pull up some screenshots. So this is a screenshot of Cavern of Anger, which we're in right now. You can see this is the start, this is the exit, and you can see how the river just literally takes you right there. But as I mentioned, sometimes you're going to have to divert from the path. So if you take this top path, right, you're going to get blocked by this wall. You just go up and around, and you come back to the shoreline, and you keep following it as best you can, and it will get you there. The same thing happens to the bottom path. You go to the bottom here, you follow the shoreline, you get blocked here, okay, whatever. You just try and keep following the shoreline again as best you can. That's one screenshot for Cavern of Anger. Let's look at another one. You can see here, same thing. We go up, follow the shoreline. The shoreline runs through here, but we can see that we get blocked here, and there's no real way to go that way. So what we want to do is we want to try to get back to that shoreline. So we're going to have to go southeast, northeast to connect again, and then we'll just keep following it up to the exit. Let me pull up a couple screenshots of Cavern of Wrath to show you that this is the same thing in Cavern of Wrath. So here is Cavern of Wrath, which is the level with a waypoint. We start at the waypoint, we find the river, we see that the river takes us down, and we just hug this as best we can as we go down. And what you'll notice here is it starts getting blocked, right? And it looks like it continues down. If you go that way, you get in trouble. But when you're over here, you can also remember the projection method where you see how we know that the river was going this way. We can also suspect that it'll connect over that way once we get blocked here. So we'll come back up, we'll find the river again, and we'll go over. Here is another one using this method. Follow the river up, okay, get blocked, but we know it's going north based on the screen. So we'll try and pick it up north again. Okay, cool, we found it. We'll go here, we get blocked, we'll revert around, follow it north, and we'll just keep following it up into the exit. So that is essentially the river method for both Cavern of Wrath and Cavern of Anger. And it's a nice sort of shortcut way of helping you figure out where to go if you don't know how to read the layout perfectly. But I think in the best use case, what its main advantage is going to be is if you know Karv's layout method and you're not quite sure which tunnel to take, essentially the tunnel or the path you should take is a path that is going to adhere you as most as possible to the riverline. All right, everyone, I hope this has been informative. Have fun with this method, and just remember, when you try it, sometimes the river is going to do some weird things, but you always want to think about trying to sort of project where the river is going, and if you have to diverge for a while, just try and connect back up when you can. All right, take it easy, and I hope this helps.